Christopher sometimes likes to chuckle with a gleam in his eyes and tells me that he knows more about me than I know about myself. Now, that might sound very strange, but unfortunately, it's also very true. Because, you see, when I was discerning the call to ordain ministry, one of the things that I needed to do was a psychological examination. You know, the ink blot tests, lots of questions that sound the same, and you wonder, did I say this before, or should I, back and forth with a psychologist. And I never saw what she wrote up about me.
That's good.
But Father Christopher, at that time, was a member of the standing committee, which is the advising body for the bishop, and he saw the report. So in fact, there may be things that I don't know about myself that I have suppressed or have ignored, that he has tucked away in his brain, and when I do certain things, he probably goes, Now, Amazon seems to know stuff about me too. Because when I go to Amazon Smile, it greets me, "Hi, Maxine." And then it shows me an assortment of things that it is sure that I am interested in. It bases this on past searches, past purchases, and I would like to ignore it, but unfortunately, my brother and his wife and his children have access to my account. And so when they go in, they will know something that I would like to keep in the dark. And that's that I read a lot of romance novels. So when I pull up my Amazon account, I see lines and lines of bodies of men. Looking very buff. And way down on the page, I might see one book on theology. There are things that we would like to keep secret in the dark. Our little foibles, our little histories. They're things that we don't want other people to know because they may judge us, find us less than, not what they expected. And so we keep these things secret. In today's gospel story, we hear about light and darkness. This passage is part of a conversation that Jesus has with Nicodemus, who is a Pharisee. Nicodemus comes to Jesus in darkness, at night, and possibly because he is also trying to hide the fact that he is interested in Jesus. He might not want the other Jewish authorities to know this. But Jesus invites him to step into the light. Jesus invites him to come with all that he is, all that he has, things hidden or not, because he has for him this great love. We heard one of the most well-known passages today. For God so loved the world that he gave us his Son. But to walk into this light is not to be afraid of judgment, because the passage goes on to say that this love does not condemn. This love, which is in fact the Son that comes into the world, this love is there to offer salvation. We are invited to step into the light. We are invited to not fear what Jesus sees about us. We are invited to not worry about weaknesses or little things that we are afraid will be judged and found less than. We are invited to trust that love that God has for us. Because you see, we haven't earned it. We cannot earn it. We might not deserve it, but it is freely given. It's all grace. Even if we didn't want it, it's ours. It's all grace. It's all a gift freely given from God. And it is so that we can have life. We can know forgiveness. We can know wholeness. In that passage we heard to the Ephesians, that letter to the Ephesians, Paul talks about this grace that is so freely given. And one writer, a poet, interprets what Paul says in these words. Even when we are dead, Paul writes, even when we turned away from the one who had created us, even when we lived in the grip of what drew our gaze from God, even when we were oblivious, even when we followed a path fashioned of nothing but our own desires, even when we wandered far and willfully away, even when we forgot to look past our own feet and to see the wonders not of our making, even when we failed to stand in awe, to breathe thanks, to lead into the love that has waited long for us, even when, Paul writes, even then, grace. Doesn't matter what we do or have done. The grace is given to us. Love, light, life. And so when we sang just a moment ago that I want to walk as a child of the light, it is an invitation for us to take one step forward out of the darkness, out of whatever is holding us back and holding us down, and to accept that love that God gives so freely to all of us. You know, even though we have done nothing to earn it and can do nothing that will cause us to lose it, if we accept that love, if we walk into that light, then we can do nothing more than to invite others, to tell others about this love, this light, this life. We are witnesses of this love that God has for us. And we walk with others who might want to hide in the shadows. We walk with people who are very different from us, but we walk to witness to the God who loves each and every one of us, the whole world, more than we can imagine and more than we can deserve. As we go forward with this Lent, may we walk into the light and accept the love and life that God has to offer us. Amen.